Everybody, good morning. It's an excellent day to serve an excellent God in and with the spirit of excellence. Good morning, Pastor Sherry, Reverend Sherry, Coach Sherry, Chaplain Sherry, Sherry from the 800 block of Mooney Avenue. Good morning. We are down to our final day in this walk toward Calvary with Jesus. However, on tonight, I want to invite you to, and I'm going to put it in the comment section. Tonight, I want to invite you to join me and my friend, Pastor Garland Thompson, as we go a little bit deeper into Jesus and Judas, and we are calling this um, theology, trauma, and Holy Thursday. As we look at Judas, his act, what he did afterwards, and what could have been for his life if he had waited. So we're going to do that tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time right here in this space. So make sure you look at the comment section after I'm going to put the picture of that flyer for your information. And then on tomorrow night, Good Friday, there will be lots of preaching. Can someone say lots of preaching? There will be lots of preaching anywhere from about 12 noon all the way probably until about 10 p.m. So you will have an opportunity to catch preaching all day long. As the song says, if you want to be with Jesus all day long, you can certainly be with Jesus all day long on tomorrow. One of the things I do want you to drop in is tomorrow night, Friday night, Good Friday night. I want you to join me with some of my comrades doing the seven last sayings with the Gathering Church, a womanist church. Their virtual service will be at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow night, and I will be participating with the third word. I will be there with my sisters. I am excited about that. But listen, before we get to that, we have to continue our journey with Jesus. And today we will focus on Jesus in the upper room and the Garden of Gethsemane. Jesus in the upper room and the Garden of Gethsemane. Now, I have placed several scriptures in the comment in the description box, and I want you to do that. I want you to go to that because I'm not going to have an opportunity to read a lot of the things for you. I'm not going to have that opportunity to read, excuse me for getting all my stuff together. I'm not going to have an opportunity to read a lot of things, these scriptures, but I want you to read them. I want you to read them. Good morning to those of you who have joined me and who have been with me all week long. So by now, Jesus is in the upper room with his disciples. They are commemorating the Passover meal, which for Jews, it is a remembrance meal. It is a remembrance meal that they remember their coming out of Egypt, and especially when God instructed them to put the blood over their doorposts. For when the death angel passes over, then the death angel will miss that house, will pass over that house. So following this God gives them instructions that every year, they ought to commemorate, they ought to remember their deliverance story. For Christians, have taken this meal and the words that Jesus says, as often as you do this in remembrance of me. And Christians believe that Jesus instituted the Lord's Supper. So he's in the upper room, and there are disciples who Jesus calls out. He calls out Peter and says that, well, he didn't call Peter's name, but he said, at this table, somebody is going to betray me. Somebody is going to betray me. Somebody close, somebody at this table is going to betray me, is going to basically align with empire and going to act as if they do not know me when I need them the most. Now, you can pick up what you want to pick up from that, but this is what I'm going to say, that everybody at your table is not for you, that there will be people at your table who will know your intimate details. But when your back is against the wall and you need them the most, they may not be there for you. In fact, they may not even say that they know you. Even when all of the evidence, there is plenty of evidence to say that, Peter, not only do you know Jesus, I got receipts, because every time Jesus was at a major event, every time Jesus was at a major event and did something real big, Peter, you were there. And then there's Judas, who will betray him, get paid. Judas will get paid 30 pieces of silver. He took a bribe and handed Jesus over. There he is. Now we can debate about, whether Judas was saved, and we know that salvation at this time is nothing like we would think of that today. But we would at least think that, Judas would not have done what he did if he had been for Jesus. We'll talk about that a little bit tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here in this space. So come on back for that conversation. But here's what I know. Even after Jesus knowing what's going to happen to him by his closest people, Jesus didn't spend a whole lot of time on it. Jesus didn't spend a lot of time dealing with his haters, which for me, I think we spend too much time talking about our haters. I think preachers preach too much on your haters. I call that lazy preaching, but that's not my fight here. What I want to share with you is that even though Jesus knew that, his purpose was bigger than any of that. Even though Jesus knew what was going to happen to him by those who are closest to him, Jesus did not dwell on it. Why? Because the purpose, his mission, was greater than those who were against him. Now you can take that and do what you want to and apply it to your life. I want to jump to Matthew 26:36 through 46, because the text says that immediately after Jesus left this room, he went to a garden called Gethsemane to pray. Now, remember when I said that there were plenty of receipts for Judah, for Peter to not fix his mouth to say that he didn't know him. Here is one of those receipts. When Jesus went to the garden to have what I call a dark night of the soul experience, Peter was with him. The text says that he took Peter and Zebedee's two sons with him. And Jesus began to feel sad and anxious. Now, this is why I don't want us to get to Sunday morning too quickly. This is why I don't want us to get to, and in 3 days, he rose again, 3 shout. I want us to sit right here in the agony of the season. I want us to see the real human experiences and feelings that Jesus endured. It says that Jesus began to feel sad and anxious. Jesus was entrenched in the feelings of what he has experienced and what he is about to experience. I'd like to call this, Jesus was in a state of anticipatory grief. Now, this is for all of those who say to church folk that grieving is not of God. Just snap on out of it, that it's going to be. No, Jesus shows us as he anticipates, as he is in his final day, that life is about to get real. He said, I am very sad. Now, we like to talk about Jesus is human and divine, and we stay a lot on the divine side. Here is some real life human emotions. Jesus says, I'm very sad. It's as if I am dying. Y'all stay here because I got to go and work this thing out. I need y'all to be watching. I need y'all to be praying. I need y'all to be on guard because I got to go have a come to meeting Jesus. A come to Jesus meeting with the one who got all of this ruckus started. Jesus says, my God, Father. He uses the most intimate term. If it's not possible that this cup be taken away unless I drink it, then let it be what you want. Now, I know that we jump to it, and another version says, if possible, let this cup go from me. But I want to suggest, I want to raise the question, how long did it take for Jesus to say that? I know in the text, the line is right there, but I want to ask the question, how long did it take? How long did it take for Jesus to get to that question? How long did he wrestle with whether or not he wanted to do this? Yes, he finally said it, but how long did it take? And so what I am raising to us this morning is there may not be a immediate resolve to get, okay, God, I'm about to die. Let's go ahead on and do it. No, let's deal with this. Let's wrestle with this. Let's find another way. I don't want to do this. I didn't sign up for it. This is your thing. Let's find another way. Church folk, Christian folk, you don't automatically, get there. If you're real honest with your human self, and I know we say we walk in the spirit and not the flesh. I know that we say that, I'm willing to go on all the way, but how long does it take to get to that point? I'm here to say I don't always immediately get to I have a lot of questions. As a journalist, a retired journalist, a newspaper reporter, I major in questions. So why we have to do it like this? Well, who said, what's the rule that says that it has to be done like this? Let's find another way. Are there other people who may be more willing than I am right now? Do I have to do it? Raise the questions, be okay with it. Finally, after having the wrestle, Jesus says, okay, if this is what we got to do, let's get on with it. And after that, after he had made up his mind, and then I don't want to get to the cross, but what I want to suggest to us that Jesus still had questions even after he said, okay, let us do it. Because we do remember one of the sayings on the cross is, why have you forsaken me? And that question, that interrogative word, why, helps us to make meaning of what I'm experiencing at this moment. Here's the question with why. Here's this problem with why. There's always another why. I'm simply saying, you may wrestle because nobody sees your wrestling. Nobody may see your dark night. They'll just see you come and say, okay, let's do this. But as I have heard, and Dr. Melva Sampson has suggested to us, that there are times we may have to do it, even if we have to do it afraid. There's a big difference between an upper room experience and a dark night of the soul experience in Gethsemane. Both are needed to get us to Sunday morning. Now, y'all be blessed and may all be well with your day. Bye-bye.